Hi everyone, welcome to our daily blog at the end of this day on Monday, and we're going to continue looking at this whole area of looking at unanswered prayer, or prayer that's not answered in the way that perhaps we first envisaged or imagined. Today we're going to look at something called human agency, which Philip Yancey calls it. What does he mean by that? Well, one of the things I find in our culture is that we've become very good at finding out what's wrong with things and then making sure others know about it. If something's not working right with our cars, we go into the garage and we try and fix it, and if it's not fixed correctly, we have learned to be able to register that concern and complain about it. Same in restaurants, same in supermarkets, wherever we go. We can also strangely take this into our prayer life. We get into a way of thinking that prayer is about making sure that we find out what issues need to be brought before God, we take them to God, and we let him know, and really then it's up to him and his job, if you like, is to put them all right, to fix them. This isn't necessarily, though, a biblical answer to prayer or a biblical way of life. So often instead, God offers us an alternative, which is to call us into partnership with him, so that what's on his heart becomes what's on our heart, and what's on our heart becomes what's on his heart. What does that look like? Well, I remember two wonderful nuns in Bristol who had a real heart and compassion for some of the ladies and gentlemen who were the street prostitutes, putting their lives at great risk on the streets of Bristol at night time and elsewhere. And what happened was they created a project called the 125 Project, which inspired and encouraged many other people to show compassion and love and non-judgment to these very vulnerable people. And what's been incredible about this project is it's not only reached out to many people in this situation, it has taken away the labels that so often can be used about such people, and indeed help them to help us to discover our humanity again, so that we each know each other by name. I had a small insight into this when I used to work with a homeless charity, and I used to see people outside of the context where I used to work in a shelter, where they would see me in the high street as a building society manager, and they'd shout out across the high street, "All right, Matt?" And I'd say, "All right, John," "All right, Sid," or whatever. The labels by which we so often can live were removed, and we both were set free. We were both taken to a new level. I can remember a similar situation happening to a dear friend of mine called Carl Schulte-Derner. He was a master chocolatier that came over to this country from Germany just after the Second World War. An incredibly brave thing to do, really, thinking back on it. And he married a wonderful lady called Sue, and they set up home here, and they built a business of a number of bakeries. And then we used to help out as a church once a month on taking bacon butties into Bristol to the homeless. And at Christmas time, Carl would spend absolutely ages making beautiful individual boxes of chocolates for these homeless people that would have otherwise been sold in their day in Harrods or wherever at great expense. And we would take these boxes of chocolates in, and it was the gentleness and kindness with which Carl used to lay these boxes of chocolates at the feet of a sleeping homeless person or whoever, often in great poverty, in the stairwells of many of the car parks of Bristol. And he used to say that it not only he hoped helped bring a bit of joy and hope to the person who was homeless that Christmas. Again, it stripped the labels back by helping us to see that person as a person, a child, a person loved by God. And that person to see us not just as a well-meaning do-gooder or whatever, but actually somebody who cared passionately, and we too had a name, and that we could share our common story. We all grew in those days and at those times, and my hope is that you have your own stories, which will be strangely these answers to prayer. This is so important that a gentleman called Richard Rohr, who's a big Franciscan writer in America, he's made his community in New Mexico, amongst the impoverished people of the immigrant community from Mexico into America. And there he's created a community called the Community of Action and Contemplation. He would argue that we need contemplation, we need prayer to spur us into action in all manner of different ways, both about other people, about the planet or whatever. But he's also very insistent in his teaching about the need for action to call us back into prayer, into contemplation. And he actually gives a great warning that without that return to prayer, then what can happen is we can almost take a very different turn, a turning left, which can take us into being angry or vengeful or judgmental, which may well be almost opposite to the judgmentalism that we were first complaining about, that has led to the poverty or whatever. It sounds a bit complicated, but what he's trying to talk about is that we can end up becoming like that which we are complaining about or praying about. We need to take this right turn back into prayer, and that prayer keeps us humble, keeps us kind, keeps us generous, keeps us hopeful, and that then feeds a much more healthy understanding of a new chapter of prayer and action. A lady called Teresa of Avila, who lived in the 15th century, used to have a prayer that has always stayed with me. She used to say, "Christ on earth now has no hands but yours, no feet with which to walk around this earth but yours, no eyes with which to see, no ears with which to hear." It doesn't mean everything's got to land completely with us. We can't always fix everything, but we can strangely also become answers to our own prayer, and in that process join in with God, and so we ourselves can be changed, and we can all grow, not only the person for whom we're praying or the situation for whom we're praying, but also we ourselves, losing the labels, losing the judgmentalism, losing the complaining, and discovering the hope, and being part of that prayer of hope of God for the world. Have a good rest of the day, and may God be with you and call you into whatever your part is to play in this wonderful story of prayer. Bye for now.